Should I start, guys? Could anyone tell me if everything's fine?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for keeping track of time, dear Vijaypur. I hope you have all gotten your 5 minutes of break. So I would like to talk about the second facet that I've been liking to share with you guys. It's about peer support. Student life can be stressful, and sometimes a listening ear or a comforting word from a fellow student can make all the difference. Empathy helps create a supportive community where students uplift each other during both academic and personal struggles. So, I would like to share an experience that I had with you guys. During my finals week, I was overwhelmed with stress, and it felt like the world was closing in. My Discord friend, Alex, noticed my distress and took the time to sit down with me. He empathetically listened to what I had to share with him, all my concerns, and he then later on shared his own strategies for managing academic pressure. This simple act of kindness made me feel like I was the apple of his eye, cherished and loved above all else. It reminded me of the incredible power of empathy in creating a caring and supportive student community, where friends like Alex are treasures that provide much needed support during challenging times. As we now move along with our meeting schedule, we reach a significant moment where we acknowledge the importance of constructive feedback and the relationship with empathy. Our speech evaluators, often unsung heroes in our Toastmasters journey, play a vital role in aiding our development as communicators. They offer valuable insights, highlighting our strengths and gently guiding us towards areas where we can improve. That empathetic approach not only nurtures our personal and professional growth, but also reinforces the supportive community for which Toastmasters is renowned for. Today, we have the honor of listening to our dedicated evaluators who will share their observations and wisdom, demonstrating how empathy can be a fundamental element of effective feedback and personal growth, all through the lens of the general evaluator. I shall now handle the dais to general evaluator to Master Sharanya. Please come forward.
Thank you to us, Master Angelina. So I'm the general evaluator, right? And the general evaluator evaluates everyone in the meeting. So, well, who's going to evaluate me? Because I feel that general evaluator is probably the hardest role. And I was in a lot of distress after the last time I did general evaluation. But I heard from my mentor. He told me that I have to try to improve from my previous self. So let's see, have I done that? And also, let's see if all our speakers have been able to do that. So our general evaluation segment has three parts. First is the prepared speeches evaluation. Second is the tag team evaluation. And third is the overall meeting evaluation. So for the prepared speeches evaluation, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shambhavi, who is the evaluator for Toastmaster Jashwita. Over to you, Toastmaster Shambhavi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya. I'm back with my evaluation for Toastmaster Jaswita. Starting with the things that went well in your speech, Toastmaster Jaswita, you had a story collection. You had two stories that you narrated, two humorous ones, and you made them universal. You started with your CIR experience and then you talked about your Narayana experience. I feel that is something that everyone, most of us can relate with. And that is some, when you connect with your audience, you can dig out the humor from your speech when they can relate with you. And then you told us at times your stories and jokes were narrated, which incited humor. I saw people laugh at them, and you also were comfortable with the audience. You were comfortable enough to speak your heart out, and that's something very necessary when you are giving a humorous speech. And you had the audience interest. When you were narrating your speech, the audience were looking forward to what you will say next. And seeing people laugh at some of your jokes, that proof that you had their attention. And coming to things you could have done better. Do not start your speech with don't start with Okay. Secondly, keep your anecdotes succinct, like keep them short. You delve in. I noticed that you kind of delve into unnecessary details which could have been omitted. For example, you were reading your thermodynamics textbooks, and there was a transition to the story which quite I didn't quite understand. So keep the stories short and pay attention to timings. Now, the key element of a humorous speech is the breaks you take. You give a joke and then you stop to look at audience's reaction to those. So, at times, or I say most of the time, it was absent. You said it's not you, it's me, and then there was no pause and you went ahead. The joke gets buried in that part. You need to stop and observe audience's reaction to it, so that you could have done better. Talking about clarity, the speech was kind of unstructured. So you could have arranged your anecdote such that the humorous part could come up in a streamlined manner. I felt that was absent from your speech. Vocal variety, try to inculcate voice modulation, because I kind of felt the speech was monotonous. Eye contact comes in the pay attention to the timing part. And stage use, do try to take pauses, use the whole stage, not just walk from left to right. And yeah, so summing up all the uh, remarks, your speech objective is met. You did present a humorous story, and that is your start into the journey of storytelling, humorous storytelling. And challenges I would present you with is, do continue with this project. This was the first of the many humorous speech you'll give. So keep at it. Just look at the timings, and yeah, you'll do great. Yeah, that was my evaluation. Over to Toastmaster Sharanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shambhavi. So, my evaluation for Toastmaster Jashwita. I think you started off very well because you told us about a classroom scenario of us going to lab and how you wear headphones and you were and your the fellow people were like thinking about what you were doing. I literally did that today too with headphones. I went to the lab. So one thing that I really found interesting is how you use this format where you go from suspense and then comes the humor part that keeps the audience waiting for wait. Okay, what are you going to tell? So the format of suspense to humor was very well done. One, you also used humor lens and serious lens, which kind of connects to today's theme, which is really nice. One thing you could try next time you give a humorous speech is that not just talk about funny incidents that you have faced, but probably funny incidents that everyone can relate to. Now, for Toastmaster Shambhavi, you mentioned the purpose of the speech, also the objectives. You mentioned the timing after being prompted by a speaker. You also mentioned all the points that your speaker had taken care of. However, I felt that this evaluation was a little too strict because in the beginning you went like, do not do this. Maybe you can think about avoiding that. Now we have our speech evaluator too, Aditya Meti, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Nikhilesh. Over to you, Aditya Meti.
What is the limit of a Toastmaster? Anyone? Quick, 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 quick. Sorry? Time, yes. Timer. So, anyways, moving on to let me first of all tell good evening. Good evening, Toastmasters, and a warm good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Niklesh. Okay, so coming to your speech, I was observing next to the timer. You didn't cross your time limit this time. You did pretty well, and you were in your time. And coming to your strengths, you had humor in your speech. I could observe that you brought a few giggles at the beginning of your speech, and you also use the stage well. You were roaming around here and here, so it's pretty well. You use the stage well. And the thing that I observed in your speech was that you had minute detailing, like 4 shots, 16 hours a day was what I observed in your speech. Minute detailing was there in your speech. And you also had audience interaction. You asked them what is the limit of a soldier. So even that was on point. The timing was also perfect, as I mentioned. So just like how a soldier is limitless, and in order for him to be limitless, he needs to work on his weaknesses. So a couple of things that you can work on. Firstly, you got a bit distracted when you were talking, or when you were delivering a speech, and then suddenly you looked this side, because that's when I realized that there was a ringtone. So someone's phone was on. So just ignore such events in future. Just go on with the flow, because you are speaking about something. So and we want to listen to you. So if you are distracted, then the entire audience gets distracted. So kindly go on with your content. Secondly, I would like to ask you a question. So is your speech approved by your mentor? Okay. So I felt that you didn't actually speak about the your leadership part. You lacked that. Yeah, it in speech objective it was clearly mentioned that you had to speak about your leadership qualities and not others. But however, you have spoken about the different leadership styles. So I feel that was covered in the end. And just like how an army officer has a lot of challenges, so I would like to give a challenge to you to take it as a challenge. And in your next speech, consider all the possible objectives that are written on the project and try to inculcate them in your speech, because it's a perfect practice that I would like you to do. And a flowchart for everyone here: prepare a script, get it approved by your mentor, ace it on the stage, and go to the next level. So that's how you progress here. And one last one liner for you: hoping to see you a stronger soldier in you on the stage, because for a soldier, you never win. It's always win or learn. It's never a loss. So, yeah, what do you?
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. So for Toastmaster Nikhilesh, you started off with a very loud and clear tone. You had interesting metaphors like cradle in the beginning of your speech. It was a very interesting story, and we gained a lot of knowledge from it because it's something that we did not know much about. You actually created a very good environment about talking about the schedule and the difficult situations faced by leaders. And you also did a very good character sketch such that we felt like we knew the person you were talking about. One thing that you could take away is that I felt like the speech was a little fast paced. You could take pauses just so that the person can, all the audience can sink in with the information that you were giving them. Now we have Toastmaster Aditya Meti. You mentioned the objectives and the purpose. There was humor in your introduction, but the timing wasn't mentioned, which you could take into consideration and remember to tell the timing next time. You also started off your evaluation with a question, and the theme was much evolved in your evaluation, which is a very good point. And you also gave us a flowchart, which every single Toastmaster in this room can take up and remember next time they're giving a speech. Now we have Toastmaster Alfonso, who is going to Toastmaster Alfonso. Who, okay, I'm sorry, Toastmaster Alfonso, to give her evaluation for Toastmaster Abhay. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya, and good evening to everyone here. So, Toastmaster Abhay, you did a wonderful job on your first speech. It was a very beautiful attempt. And the first thing that I want to note is that you started by addressing the audience and by asking them a question, which is not an easy thing to do for your first speech. So it was a very brave effort. Also, coming to the content or the body part of your speech, you shared experiences from your childhood, your thoughts, your personality, and such as transition from extroversion to introversion. You also gave examples that were very engaging, such as the one of your train journey where your dad left you and you went in search of him. So that also like highlighted your mischievous uh, trait of your childhood very well. So basically, it was a very vulnerable and open speech, which is commendable since it was your first speech. Also, coming to the improvements part, um, you looked at the floor a bit often. So I would suggest you to work on that. Maybe you can like um, take 3 spots in the audience section and like keep looking over there. And coming to your body language, it was a bit closed off. So maybe you can practice more on that by going on a stage and trying out your speech before giving one the next time. So to summarize, it was very well. It was a great attempt. You introduced yourself well. The objectives of the speech were met, such as it had a proper outline, and you successfully introduced uh, yourself to the club members. You shared experiences of your childhood, the places that you lived, your hobbies, your experiences with your family, reasons why you joined TAB, and finally you ended your speech by talking about your dreams, which left the audience in a very hopeful and positive note. So it was well done. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alfonso. My evaluation for Toastmaster Abhay, it was first of all, congratulations for finishing your icebreaker speech. You started off with a story about your family, which is always interesting for all of us to hear. You actually didn't seem quite nervous, which is hard for your first speech as an icebreaker speech, not to seem nervous, which is a really good point. I like how you mentioned your aspirations. Usually people say about what they are right now, but you also included what you want to be, which has a future perspective to it. That way we get to know you more. One thing you could take into consideration is you could increase the vocal modulation a little more, such that it could be a little more happy when you're talking about your interests and a little more serious when you're just mentioning details about yourself. And you could also use the stage a little more, like mentioned by Toastmaster Alfonso. Toastmaster Alfonso, you mentioned the path, the objectives, and the timings, all very well done. You also encouraged the speaker and told how he has done very well considering that it was his icebreaker speech. Now we have Toastmaster Shivansh, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Dhanushri. Over to Toastmaster Shivansh.
So, good evening, everyone, again, and good evening to Toastmaster Dhanushri. Before I start my evaluation, I'd just like everyone to just give her a standing applause once again. Standing applause. So, first things out of the way, I don't agree that you're a bush. You proved today that you are no less than a tree. A brilliant speech right at the starting. You just hit it out of the park with a brilliant intro, a quotation, and not just a single line of quotation, a proper 3 lines of quotation before you finally came to your introduction, which is a very good way to start a speech. Now, given that it was your icebreaker, there are obviously some things that could be worked upon. So, one of those things that could be worked upon is maybe maintaining eye contact with the people in the audience. I felt that you couldn't maintain that, but it could be understood as you were a bit nervous and it was your icebreaker. But as you kept on speaking, the confidence did grow on you. So that was a huge positive. The second thing which I really liked about your speech was how well prepared it was. I didn't feel any unwanted pauses in the speech. But at the same time, I didn't feel a wanted pause either. Sometimes when you're speaking for 4 to 6 minutes, if you speak continuously, the audience might just doze off from your speech. So you can maybe try to inculcate some wanted pause to maybe something to give a more dramatic effect. You could add a wanted pause. That is one thing I'd like you to work upon. And the another huge positive, I don't know how many speakers are actually able to do it in their icebreaker to use the idiom of the day. So a huge props to you for that. That was a great thing to do. And apart from that, I'd like to leave you with a couple of challenges for your next speech. One of them could be you could work a bit more on your voice modulation. And the other could be the the other challenge could be to maybe use the stage a bit more. You did use the stage, you did walk around the stage, but at the same time you couldn't use the stage as much as one would have liked. So those are the two challenges I'd leave you with. And just like at the end of your speech, that is what it was a brilliant conclusion. To end the speech with the same lines that it was started was give it a dramatic effect, which every speech craves for. So a brilliant conclusion, and all in all, a brilliant icebreaker. And I wish you the best for your journey in the Toastmasters. Back to the general evaluator of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivansh. My evaluation for Toastmaster Dhanushree. You started off with a poem, and I also was left thinking about what it meant, and you actually cleared it at the end. That pulled the audience in, and they were really looking forward to what you were going to say. You also used a chronological pattern from when you were in 10th grade to when you're in college. In the further speeches, you'll realize that it's actually a format of speech that can be taken, which is a chronological speech. You made us think about who we are when you were referring to the form that you had to fill to become a office holder in your school. And then you also used very good gestures, as that's your first speech. Using gestures, it was really good. One thing you could take away is next time when you give a speech, maybe you could increase the audience interaction a little more, maybe ask a question or two so that the audience can connect with you. Now, Toastmaster Shivansh, you mentioned the path, the objectives, the purpose, as well as the time. You encouraged your speaker very well and paid very good attention to the theme of the speaker. And you also told about how we can use pauses better, which all of us can take away as your from your evaluation. Now, this is the end of our prepared speeches evaluation. Now we are going to go on to the tag team evaluation. The tag team evaluation, basically the tag team who are the apples of my eye, not just apple. And now, first we are going to have an evaluation from the grammarian, Toastmaster Sheelalita. Over to you.
So, first of all, I realized today with a great sense of sonder that no matter how much I overthink and look for some obscure English word that nobody has used, everybody is going to have their own thing going on in their mind when they're on spot, on stage, and everybody's eyes are on them. And it's going to be pretty difficult to use words like this. So, idiom of the day, on the other hand, was used by two people. Dhanushri in her speech, her icebreaker, as well as Toastmaster Sharanya just now. Coming to the good usages, Toastmaster Angelina, as always, had a lot of really cool words like fostering, testament, epitomize, steadfast, eloquent, as well as loads of lovely metaphors like the complex realm of human experience, as well as garden that seamlessly combined two approaches that she was talking about, unsung heroes, etc. Toastmaster Shambhavi used rose tinted glasses as well as the word succinct. Toastmaster Jasvita used empathy over sympathy, little bit of rhyme there, existential crisis, and the expression she did a whole 180. Toastmaster Nikhilesh used what is the limit of a soldier as your title, um, as well as he called himself an Air Force brat. Used the expression when in Rome, one should act like a Roman, and used through the roof and a metaphor about a cradle. Toastmaster Dhanushri in her speech used Be a Bush If You Can't Be a Tree. Her speech title started with a beautiful poem, a beautiful quote, used the idiom going great guns, and used the idiom of the day, as I mentioned before. Toastmaster Aditya Meti was back with his one liners today. He started with what is the limit of a Toastmaster, mirroring what Toastmaster Nikhilesh had done. You used win or learn, little bit of rhyme there too, and perfect practice, which is an alliteration. Toastmaster Shivansh used hit it right out of the park, which is a pretty unusual metaphor. And Toastmaster Sharanya used the word chronological. Coming to improvements, I won't be mentioning any names. Um, we had a little bit of issues with pronunciation. So it's situation, intrigued, and comfortable. There was also issues of misplacing the words the and an and certain prepositions. So over to the general evaluator, the TMOD, because you're mentioning a title. Over to Toastmaster so and so, because you're mentioning a person. There was also out of blue, which could be better put as out of the blue. Scrolling my phone, which could be better put as scrolling on my phone. And there was also one more issue, which is kind of obscure and kind of tricky. So basically, when you start a sentence with a reason, like because this happened, I did this, you're putting more emphasis on the reason. And when you say, I did this since this happened, you're putting more emphasis on the result. So when you start with the reason, you start with because. And when you, because you're putting more emphasis on the reason. And when you start with the result, you don't start with, yeah, like you put as or since, because you're emphasizing more on the result. And with that, I complete my evaluation. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Lalita. Why is that in 12 years of my schooling that Sri Lalita wasn't my English teacher? I don't know why. I think she'll make a great English teacher. Sri Lalita explained her role very well and described the word of the day and idiom of the day, and also gave an example while she was explaining them. She also talked about the articles used, how to use the, as well as the pronunciation. Now we have the next evaluation by our counter, Toastmaster Arpita. Over to you.
So I'm back with my report. Well, starting with the first speech evaluation introduction segment, uh, Toastmaster Shambhavi used moderate, like used moderately with the evaluation segment and also with the start, uh, and also the she used the in the last minute, which could be avoided. And Toastmaster Jaswita, she used and two times or more less times, and then also she used and a bit less times, so kudos on that. uh, Aditya Meti, with again Toastmaster Aditya Meti, you repeated office a bit more, I guess, and also well well and good with the other stuff. And Toastmaster Nikhilesh, also you used a bit moderately, and then you would work in that. Also, you used a bit. You repeated like two times, and that's what it is. And then yeah, and then going to the evaluation, Alfonso, you used too many times, I guess, and also like again. And Toastmaster Shivansh, it was uh, he used less times and nothing else. And then uh, Toastmaster Dhanushri, again, you used, even though your speech was going with the flow, you used a bit more time. So work in that. Uh, Toastmaster Nandan, nothing else. You used a bit more. So just work on that. Also, Toastmaster Vinay used a bit less times, but yeah. And also evaluating myself, I did use a lot of hours during my speech, during the table topic sessions, and yeah. Uh, Also, yeah, with the table topic session, Viraj used hours again with less number of times. Also, yeah, Toastmaster Shambhavi used, again, she repeated, is this again? So work in that. Well, with that, I would end my evaluation segment, and also I would end it with the suggestions is, uh, as you know, when you're sleeping, uh the you know the mosquitoes are just like roaming here and there in your bed, and you won't like it, right? Because you're already sleeping. So that's what is speech segments about. For example, if you're giving a speech, try to avoid it, give a small pause, or just do an action so that you can uh, engage the audience very well. Also, you try to imitate your favorite speaker on the stage or in front of the mirror, which will help you to uh, come back and then improve on your crutch words and also your filler words. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arpita. That was really interesting because I've never heard an R counter evaluation that gives references of like mosquito noises to talk about the pauses and other references that basically help you improve, like imitate your speaker is what Toastmaster Arpita said. Toastmaster Arpita mentioned all the CRPFs in her introduction as well as gave an example so that people can avoid them. Now we have our timer of the day, Toastmaster Aditya. Over to you.
So once again, good evening, Toastmasters. So I am here with my report. So coming with prepared speeches, Toastmaster Jaswita took 6 minutes 44 seconds, which was well in time, and Toastmaster Niklesh took 6 minutes 59 seconds, which was like exactly in time, almost in time. So I prefer next time you do it better. And Toastmaster Abe, you took 5 minutes 31 seconds, which was well in time. Toastmaster Dhanashri, you took 5 minutes 45 seconds, which was also in well in time. And coming to table topic speakers, Toastmaster Vinay, you took 1 minute 28 seconds, which was well in time. And Toastmaster Arpita, you took 1 minute 30 seconds, which was well in time. Toastmaster Shambhavi, you took 1 minute 43 seconds, which was also fine. Toastmaster Dhanushri, you took 1 minute 41 seconds, and Toastmaster Viraj, 1 minute 38 seconds. So basically all table topics were in well in time. Whereas evaluations, Toastmaster Shambhavi took 3 minutes 26 seconds, which was in buffer time. So I prefer next time you improve it, like you make sure you're in time. And next, Toastmaster Aditya Meti, you took 3 minutes 6 seconds, which was fine. So you also should improve in see that you're in within the time, not in buffer. And Toastmaster Alfonso, you took 2 minutes 23 seconds, and Toastmaster Shivansh took exactly 3 minutes. So basically, with this report, all of them were in time, only except a few. And as a small suggestion is, whereas next time when you practice your speeches or evaluation in a mirror, you just keep a stopwatch beside you or a timer and check that it's fine or not, so that you don't come here and cross your time limit. So over to the general evaluate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. I'm totally impressed by the tag team today. All of them have given suggestions on how you can improve your timing, not just giving an evaluation of what they're supposed to, like R counter, CRPFs, and timer with the timings. Now, that is the end of our tag team evaluation. Let me move on to the overall meeting evaluation. We have our essay Toastmaster Pranav, who isn't in the meeting right now, but he also mentioned all the ground rules, like always, created an energy for the meeting. He mentioned the rules for online and offline. That was very good to keep in mind that we have an online audience as active audience today too. Then we have our presiding officer, Jashwita. She encouraged all of us to tell a loud good morning and good evening, my bad. And we asked us all about how was our day. She told us about the club mission as well as deadlines that we have to think about, like the goal sheet, the TMOM, and the mentor form as well. Toastmaster Angelina, our TMOD of today. How do you do this, Toastmaster Angelina? You can be a really good storyteller. It's always very interesting to listen to Toastmaster Angelina talk about anything, and her themes are also very creative. She told us about Ralsei medley and how Toastmasters was formed. Very good vocal variety and also very good examples of empathy were used. Although she is in an online setting, she had very good stage usage and gestures, which is hard to see in an online meeting because it is easy to do that offline. She also encouraged the audience. That's something I observed every time the an icebreaker speech was given. She encouraged the audience to get up as the host of the meeting. That was very well done. Now we have our table topic session. Toastmaster Vinay, obviously amazing humor yours because that is something you're good at. Toastmaster Arpita, you had a very good story and you used the stage very well. One thing you could take away is that you could hold the mic a little more closer to you. That way we can hear you better. Toastmaster Shambhavi created this environment of a talk show or a channel on YouTube, like called Sunday Motivation, which was really well done. And you had gestures of like spill tea, which was very amusing. We have Toastmaster Dhanashri. Your speech was very eloquent and you gave us good advice that we can all apply. Toastmaster Viraj, you had good audience interaction with the question that you asked in the beginning, and the Shinshan reference, I think, made all of us really happy. Toastmaster Nandan was our Toastmaster of the day. You had perfectly incorporated the theme in your topics, which makes the overall feel of the meeting better. One thing you could take away is that you could remember the theme of the meeting before the meeting starts, and nevertheless, you show the effort to take out your phone and check what the title is. But our fellow Toastmasters helped. That's also great. Now, for the overall meeting evaluation, we were a little bit late because of some technical difficulties that can be taken care of in the future. And that's the end of the overall meeting evaluation and my evaluation. Back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Angelina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya, for the amazing evaluation, and thank you for the other evaluators as well for giving your evaluations. I would like to address the third facet right now, that is teaching and learning. Empathetic educators understand the diverse needs of their students. They adapt their teaching styles, provide additional support when necessary, and foster an inclusive environment where every student feels valued and understood. Here's an example that I went through during my middle school. We had an English teacher, and her name was Mrs. Usha Mukherjee, and had a remarkable ability to evoke a sense of stonder among her students. The realization that everyone has a life as complex as your own. She noticed that some of us were struggling with Shakespearean literature, and instead of sticking to her usual teaching approach, she organized small group discussions and simplified the language, recognizing our diverse learning needs. Mrs. Mukherjee willingly told us to go through an extra mile and also try reading more storybooks to keep up with the English that is provided there. So that was really considerate of her, wasn't it? Now, to summarize today's meeting, in both educational and student life contexts, the power of empathy shines brightly. Mrs. Mukherjee, a middle school English teacher, recognized the struggles of students with Shakespearean literature. She adapted her teaching methods, fostering an inclusive environment that catered to diverse learning needs. Similarly, my friend also, when it came to creating a garden, I had a different opinion. She had a different opinion, but still we were able to empathize with each other and we understood that each other's ideas must be considered and cooperated and then we started creating a garden. Alex, although he is an online friend of mine, he was able to empathize with me with what I was telling. Like he was able to understand my pain, and he was a really good friend to always be there for me. And this is why he's also the apple of my eye. Now, for concluding the meeting, as we bring this meeting to a close, I would like to express my gratitude to each of you for being a part of today's gathering and for your active engagement. I hope that the insights into empathy we have delved into through speeches and discussions resonate within you. Always keep in mind that empathy is a potent instrument capable of molding our relationships, our communities, and even our world. Let's persist in honing and nurturing it in our everyday experience. Thank you, and I eagerly anticipate our next meeting. And over to the presiding officer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, TM Modi. The voting link is out. Please go ahead and vote. And it was a ride. It was a roller coaster over the emotions, the empathy that we have. And I define myself as a pathetic person with empathy. But I'll learn to know more about the empathy and all the other emotions. But in the meanwhile, please go ahead and vote. And yes. Well, you people had a few doubts about the contest. So if you have any doubts right now, you can ask. But meanwhile, when people are voting. So if you don't have any votes, I can conclude the meeting. Any doubts? No doubts. Okay, people are very into voting. Excuse me, heads up. Yeah, very into voting. No doubts about the contest. No doubts. All clear. Ready to contest. Yes. That would be told by this contest chair 1 day before the meeting. Yes. Venue most probably Krishna Hall. Yeah, definitely. Yes. So, okay. Well, the flow of the meeting. Firstly, we'll be having a contest chair. General evaluator doesn't vote usually. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. So we'll be having a contest chair who would be organizing the contest. All the before, after, and during the meeting will be organized by the contest chair. And he will be assigning a contest master. We'll be having a script that a contest master should stick to. And contest chair, 1 day before the contest, will have a briefing session with all the role takers and the contestants and say what they have to do in the meeting. So each of the role taker, each of them have a different kind of role. So if whether it be a tally counter, most of us are not familiar with what a tally counter is because in not in your usual meetings we don't have a tally counter, right? So in contest we have a chief judge and the chief judge has a number of judges, right? So the judges most probably we have online, it's a hybrid meeting, so they might be online offline their wish. So we'll tell that judges are usually anonymous, you will be not knowing about the judges. And the tally counter, once all the judges will be given a ballot and you will be marked on the ballot on your performance. There are a lot of factors. I have sent a contest bundle in the tab group, so you can go through the bundle and you have the evaluation forms as well. So in there are certain marks for the summary, there are certain marks for the introduction, for the content, etc., etc. So you'll be marked and the tally counter will collect all the ballots, and each ballot will be having one person number 1 2 3. There are a lot of points, right? So they'll be accumulating all of that and the winner will be announced. That's the job of the tally counter. And the contest master, so the contest should be very fair and square, right? So what happens is that we'll be having a breakout room especially for the contest, and each of the contestant will be called upon on the stage by the essay. We'll be having two essays, one essay for the breakout room, one essay for the in person, and one essay for the online, which is the Zoom master. So the people will be in a breakout room, they'll be called one by one, and the person after giving the topic will be seated in this hall so that the topic will not be leaked anywhere else. And during the contest your phones are not allowed, any electronic devices all will be connected by the essay. And this is usually the process of an contest. Whether it be, if it is an evaluation, the test speaker will be on the stage, they will give the speech, the evaluators will write down all the on the piece of paper. They'll be giving it to the SA, and then they'll be taken into the breakout room, and each person will be called upon to give their evaluation. So this is the flow of the meeting, and the contest master will take care of the order and how they'll call on the stage. They'll read out the rules, regulations, and at the end, all after all the judges tally, and once the results are out, we'll be giving the results at the end of the meeting only, right? Just once the meeting is ended. And yeah, yes, exactly. Yes, just a correction, contest chair. Yes. Or can you send me the results if everyone has voted? And any more questions about the contest? How many winners? Okay. Usually until the last year, our area had 4 clubs. So there were 2 people going for the area contest, but now we have 6 clubs in our area. So there'll be only one person going for the area contest. One from table topics, one for evaluation. Anything else? When is the area contest? 29th of October. Where I don't know. Yes? What? Division contest, I have no idea. I have to know about it. Yes? District contest during the coronation. Tips. Okay. We don't have much time. We can talk about this during the next meetings when the contest chair is briefing. So coming on to the best of the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Vinay. Best of Big Four. Oh, it's Toastmaster Sharanya. Best of tag team goes to Aditya V. The best of speech evaluators goes to Toastmaster Aditya. BT. The best of the speakers goes to Toastmaster Nikhilesh. Congratulations to all the winners. Tips for the contest. I'm also a contestant. I don't think I can give you any tips. Ask your contest chair. And I declare the meeting number 221 themed through the lens a psychological journey of empathy closed. Take a picture and session is open for networking, but pack your bags. We have to leave. Just take a picture fast. Just come onto the stage fast, 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 fast.
I have to bribe this guy. Yeah. Private things.
Come on fast. We have to leave. Come on, come on. Get on the stage. Get on the stage, people. I can't sing, but just get on the stage.
But you will take photo. They take photo. What? Go. I take photo. Everyone, please. Guys. Please say no. Please. Say बोलेगा करने. यार ठीक है. Selfie. पहले हर्षा का चेहरा होता था.
Okay, done.
Got your evaluation. Check it.